good for themselves. So I got back into it in 2021. So I love helping people. So
Wow. And you've been in the real estate business since what, 2010?
2000, I did 2005 to 2011, and
I understand.
I've been back since 2021.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Tell us about the freedom of working for yourself.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Like nobody can tell me when to take off, when to go to the bathroom. I love it. Like the
Mhm.
sky's the limit. What I make is up to me. So
Right.
yeah, nobody can stop me. Nobody can say this is how high you can go. It's up to me.
Hmm.
Yeah. And even on the other end of it, that's the beauty of it. But tell some of the people, and this is why when I talk to people about entrepreneurship,
Right.
we always look at the great part, like what you say, the freedom, and that's
Hmm.
why we do it.
Yeah.
So and you made a little hint on I guess the rough parts when money not flowing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I mean, let people know. Okay, it is a rough part to it, but the freedom part makes it worth it.
The
Makes
freedom
it worth
of
it.
it. Yeah.
And I say that all the time. When I talk to people, it's like, look, okay, you look at this part, but hey, it's sometimes you may not have that cash flow.
Hmm.
You may not have that cash flow. So,
Yeah.
but the freedom is priceless.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell you, I would say throughout my career, most of it, I would say 85% of it has been on commission. And I was working for a major firm one time, financial firm, and I was working as a partner. Now, as a partner, you have to stay in the office,
Mm.
and then you have to uh, 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 educate and also manage several
Okay.
different agents, right? And I hated the fact that I could not get out.
You can't chase that money. Yeah, you couldn't chase that money. You had to be still.
I had, and
Hmm.
and the thing about it is, they took the way this firm worked. Uh, Before I was an agent and a broker, and I was making my commissions, but once I became a partner, they said you can't do that anymore. I had all of these clients, and I could not benefit from these clients, right? I had to give that business away. I mean,
Wow.
thousands, tens of thousands of dollars away to my agents because I couldn't take it. And
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you, that did not settle well with me at all. But I
Right.
do like the freedom of being able to, hey, okay, it's 9 o'clock. It might be time for me to get up right now. Okay, or you set your own schedule. So
Hmm.
mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of people don't realize, Lamar, that I don't know whether you've ever had a job or not, or you've already had your own business.
Hmm.
But working for someone else can be stressful, and
Yeah.
it depends on the atmosphere you get. It can help. I mean, it can affect your mental psyche, your mental
Yeah.
health.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of people are. How many people now? All of us know somebody that say, "I hate my job, but
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
got to go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Externally, you can hear what they say, but internally, how are they feeling?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So, Lamar, have you ever had a job before?
Yeah, I've had a job since.
Oh, mama laughing. Mama is laughing.
When was
I
It, it,
always
mu-
had
it,
a job.
it must be short.
My first job was
Not the paper route. Don't include the paper
no,
route.
no, no, no. I was as soon as I had a working permit, I was 15 and some months, and I worked at Hardee's.
Okay.
Well, no,
Okay.
I'm a grinder. I'm a grinder. So I didn't work at
Okay.
Hardee's.
Okay.
I used to be at carpool. This is all in high school.
Okay. Yeah, I
Hardee's,
did hardest. Hmm.
and then at one point I was at Lowe's and Amazon at the same time,
Okay.
Oh
and I
boy.
was working at my godmama and godfather's restaurant. All three at the same time.
Woo.
Oh
Oh,
wow.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that was my last time having a job when I was working all three of those jobs in 2015.
Yeah, you said that's it.
Hmm.
Well, it won't even that. I was going. It was So I came back home after my freshman year, or like yeah, sometime after my freshman year, second semester, and then I took a year off. And that year off, I was working those three jobs. And then when I went back, that's why I said it was like, all right, now it's like you got to lock in. What's the game plan? Because I mean, after a while, I see so many kids go to college and they still don't know what they want to do. So
Right.
they wasting a lot of time and money. And with me, my methodology is if it don't add up, it don't make sense to do it.
It doesn't make sense.
So
If it don't make
if I'm wasting time and money on trying to figure out what I want to do in life, and then that need to be my first priority. So I
right,
have friends now, they got degrees and they not doing nothing with it. So but the debt still is there.
Yeah.
So my thing was I made a decision in 2017 and it was like, all right, like this ain't gonna make sense for me because it's like I don't. My professor is teaching me business management, but don't own a business. That doesn't
right.
make sense. So
Yeah, that's deep.
if they don't add up. So I was like, all right, now
Right,
then which in your case you got a Series 7. If I wanted to be a stockbroker, I could learn because you
right.
actually did it. But if you just knowing the book part of the business and not the actual day-to-day operations, then it's nothing really you can tell me because you don't have the experience. So when I made that decision, that's kind of my pig and brew journey, my junior year of college, and then we opened a year later.
Right. You said a lot there, because how many people now? I'm not knocking. I'm not knocking anyone who goes to college. I went to
Right.
college.
Right.
Okay, I'm not knocking anyone for that. But again, you made a very valid point there. You've got a professor teaching you business, and they never owned one.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did they get their information from? Out of a book.
Go to books.
Okay, not life experience because everything doesn't go by that book. And you know as well as I do, businesses have it has its turns, its twists.
Yeah.
Oh, mom said something over.
That's-
She said, "Woo!" Jump right on
Oh,
in, V. Jump right on in. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by woo? What do you mean by that?
Because I
When
think
that money ain't flowing, when that money ain't flowing,
because
and you don't know when it's coming.
you don't know. You don't know. When we first started the transportation company, we did research, but people like me and Aaron have talked about how Instagram they say do this and you'll make this. So that's where we kind of went by.
Mm-hmm.
Right, right,
So
right,
it's
right.
like the rate we got for the route wasn't even enough, but we didn't know that. And so
Right.
then we looking at the maintenance on the vehicle, the gas, and I was like, I'm not making any money. So that first year, it was trial and error. I had to figure out, so now I can go to them and say, oh no, I need more money because now I know, but I didn't know then.
Right.
So, I didn't make any money that first year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you didn't get that out of a book. That's experience.
Ooh,
That's
yes.
experience that you did that. And tell us a little bit more about this transportation business. So, how did you guys come together? I know you mentioned that you started it, but how did it all come together? Now, Lamarr, you came up with the idea. You said, "I'm going to buy a van, and we're going to do this."
Yeah.
What made you, or what motivates you to go in that direction? And why did you think that was going to be lucrative for you and your mom?
It's more so I don't believe in working for nobody else. That's
Hey,
just how I've been. So it's like, and I mean, I look at profits and versus your work. So if I feel like my work is gonna be set at this bar for this price, I'm working at that price. And she was at the time working at Coca-Cola, and I'm like, that ain't really you slaving for Coca-Cola, 12 hours. Then they switching up schedules and it's inconsistent. You got peak season, all this stuff.
Yeah.
So I was like, I mean, if you tired of doing that, I mean, you can get in the van and we can make it happen.
right.
I said, some people they flex a little bit and say how it's what the rates is, what everybody making, and then you get into it and it's like, nah, that ain't really the case. But at the same time, I knew that eventually some would stick. So, and I mean, I've just known that because I've been in business with Pig and Brew and other businesses, and I know that. I mean, once you figure it out, you figure it out.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the key thing I'm hearing from both you guys. And as entrepreneurs, we know like the main thing is sticking it out. And a lot of people, I've heard so many stories throughout the years from friends, family members, whoever. Yeah, I tried this and stuff, but it didn't work out. I mean, they gone within 30, 60 days or something.
You gotta have the mental fortitude to
right.
be prepared to say I didn't put in 30 days worth of, I didn't put in a year worth of work at Pig and Brew and never got a check. So it's like you gotta really be locked in and believe in the vision that you got. If you don't believe in it, of course you ain't gonna get nothing out of it. Because I mean, when you're back against the wall, you gotta make something happen. So since if you're back against the wall and you ain't prepared to put all it in and go broke, town after town. Don't even walk this path.
So yes. I mean,
If you ain't prepared to have some bills late or skip out on some
right.
bills, and be like, when I get it, I get it.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're right. I lived it. I mean, some things got to wait because you looking at this because this gonna pan out.
Yeah.
You got to believe it's gonna pan out. So I mean, that's the main thing with entrepreneurship. You got to believe in yourself, just like you said. So let me ask you this. So get back to the transportation company. Well, it's medical transport, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the van, and were you guys driving it yourselves, or how did that work in the beginning stages?
Me.
You okay?
Yeah, we got the van for her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you got the
When
transportation.
she made her mind up that she was gonna leave Coca-Cola, I was like, once you commit, it ain't no. I mean, look, I don't
Right.
want to hear no.
Yeah, Coca-Cola gone. Coca-Cola gone. You got to
I
tell
don't
her.
want to hear no complaining. We gonna stick it out, and she
That's
stuck it
right.
out in 4 years, so she done stuck it out.
It's been 4 years. So the plan was people made us think, we was gonna buy like 5 vans and we was gonna make all this money. And you can, but it's better driving myself. Like I can't even find a backup driver because people be like, "All right, V, I want to do it," and I'll say, "Go fill out the application," and they never do. So it's like, I can't let you mess up my contract.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it until I find somebody. And
That's right.
It's easy. So yeah. So I've been doing it for 4 years.
Oh wow! Congratulations. Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to have that fortitude. Say, I'm gonna stick to this. I might get knocked down, but I'm getting back up. You have to have that. And I want to get back to something that Lamarr was talking about earlier about people with degrees. And guys, like I said, I'm not. If you have a degree, more power to you.
Yeah, it works.
And that's okay. But try to do something beyond having to go to Mr. ABC or XYZ and say, I need a job and things like that. Try to find a way that your degree can help you to become self-sustained. Self-sustained. And I understand if you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. But even those guys, they're in business for themselves. Some of them work for firms and some are independent. So if you sit and what a travesty it is to have this 4-year degree, you're 80, 90, $100,000 in debt, and you sit at home playing PlayStation. This makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense. And a lot of people use that degree as I have a degree. I went to BMI. I went to wherever. Okay, I went to ever, and you're waiting for somebody to call you. People aren't going to call you. You got to go out there and get it, or like you said, start your own business. Whether it's cosmetology, whether it's transportation, whether it's whatever it is, I also find it fulfilling if it belongs to me, because that job you work on that doesn't belong to you, and that guy can get rid of you anytime for any reason that he or she wants to. It could be a labor shortage or technology. Technology has replaced more people, and then you have the the flood of AI now, which are going to replace more jobs. There's a stat that's out right now that AI is going to provide 100,000 plus more jobs than available, or whatever that number is. However, the problem is if you're not trained, guess what? You're not going to get that job. So that's why I love what you guys are doing. You're entrepreneurs, and you're on your own. Lamarr, tell us about Pig and Brew. Why did you start that, and how is it going? And now, how long have you had? Is it 4 years now?
No, this will be my 6th year. I opened 2018, November 16th, 2018.
What inspired you to do that?
So my godfather and godmother own a place called Carolina Barbecue, which is in Creighton on 9 Mile Road. So that was my 3rd job in 2015.
Yeah, we're doing loads of money.
I always, if they need any help, need anything, I was always going to help them out. And I kind of learned the business of restaurants. But I was legally at the legal drinking age. So like all my friends, when we, either we come back from college or whatever, we there for the weekend. It's like, yeah, we're going to drink and then we're going to get something to eat and then we're going to drink. And it just made sense to say, like, they a takeout spot. I was like, hey, so did y'all want to partner and kind of bring the food and the alcohol together? Because I know, that's what we wanted to do at the
Right.
time.
Right.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I
Winning
mean, and it's been a journey. Don't get me wrong. I ain't gonna fake like it's been all peaches and cream. And I mean, it still ain't, even with 6 years. And I think that dynamic just changes because of the economy, food costs, employees,
Mm-hmm.
higher wages. So I mean, it's definitely putting a strain on restaurants, because I feel like if you can make it in the restaurant industry, you can make it in anything, because it's
Absolutely.
is that complex where I gotta satisfy a customer with, we all got different taste buds. I have to like do an 80-20 rule for everything. So I might like my string beans this way, but you might like them that other way. So I got to find a happy medium. And then it just comes with customer service. It just comes with a lot of dynamics that
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of people don't understand. Like they say, oh, you can't cook how you cook at home. That's the truth, because you're gonna spend too much money. It's not gonna be economical for you, and it's gonna take too long. So you got to kind of like balance out like what you want and what makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so let me ask you, Lamar. We spoke on the college, and you took some business classes. So did you use some of what you learned in college, for your business, or
No, because what I really learned in college more than anything was marketing. So,
Okay.
because like I'm a talk to people. I'm gonna introduce myself. I think I always been kind of a popular dude.
Mhm.
So, when I take that and see that that's more valuable, my network is more valuable than the educational aspect of what I learned in school. Because I
Mm-hmm.
got friends that they lifetime friends that I met in Norfolk at ODU, and they come to my business even if they don't live in Richmond or whatever. So I think that did more than anything than a piece of paper would have did for me.
Mm-hmm.
The relationships, and one of
Yeah,
my business mentors, he always stressed to me for years, relationships
Yeah.
it can be more important than money, because
yeah,
Yep.
relationship can get you money.
Yeah,
Yep.
So
absolutely.
yeah, relationships are more important, and that's what I strive to do. Just build relationships,
yeah,
build.
Absolutely. That's a good point, Aaron,
Mhm.
because relationships. I'm gonna go a step further because, and I do agree with you 1,000%. And you too, Lamar. Relationships building, they are more sustainable than you meet somebody a flash, or you put something out on Facebook or YouTube or wherever it is, and people may come by one time. If you have a relationship with somebody, you have built yourself a steady clientele.
Yep.
I think that's the major business there. Lamar, you mentioned about you learned marketing, and so how are you marketing yourself now, and both your business and also with the business that you have with your mom? How are you guys marketing yourselves?
I mean, well, Pick and Brew is kind of the foundation, because you never know who coming through the door. I talk to pilots that they on their last leg, or they finish their shift and then they got to go back, or we've met multiple mental health clients. I've met multiple people that drive medical transportation vans. I mean, politicians. It's what it's
Mm.
it's a networking hub. So it's like nothing works better than food and conversation. So it's like if
Right.
I'm sitting at the bar and I'm talking to somebody, and they having just quick conversations, it can open up to be something. I mean, that's how I started a lot of these other businesses after introducing to certain people at my restaurants.
Mm-hmm,
Mm,
mm-hmm.
mm.
And V, tell me something. What would you say is the motivational force or the glue or the things that keep you guys going? Uh, how are you sustaining yourself? Because it seems like you guys, both you and your son, you guys are having a really good time. You have the freedom of being on your own. I know it's not easy because you still have to work.
Mhm.
I
We
mean, you
still
still have
have to
to.
work.
The greatest thing is that you're working for yourself. So,
Yeah.
yeah, talk to us a little bit about that.
About working for yourself or
Working
working
for
with him.
yourself, and how are you sustaining, or what's motivating you to just keep on going, and the passion and the drive, and yeah, let's talk about the passion that you guys have for what you're doing. Let's talk
The,
about that a little bit.
the passion is we want to leave a legacy because
Okay.
my family members left me bills. So I want to break the generational curse, and I don't want my grandson to have to go through what we went through. So that drives us to leave something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
like yeah.
go on.
My
No, no, go on.
they didn't even have life insurance. So like my mother and my brother, we had to come up with cash. So it's
Mm,
just about learning and doing better and
right,
knowing better
right.
and teaching his son better, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you're setting quite an example. Now you say your children, your grandchildren also. Are they yeah, are they involved in the business at all, or are they interested in the businesses that you and Lamarr are have taken on?
He's 1 years old.
Hey,
You know
it's
how to
never too
speak
early.
though.
Hold, hold, hold,
You know how
hold,
to
hold,
speak.
hold.
We
It's
we
never
got
too
we
early to
got
learn
ready.
now.
Yeah,
Know how
he's
to
taking
speak.
work. He's taking work.
Yeah, put him to work.
Yeah,
Yeah, put him to work.
he can pick up a broom.
Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
gonna
know how to
know how to
sweep.
work.
He know how to sweep.
Oh,
Oh my
oh,
God.
that's a start.
Every
That's a
penny.
start.
Don't even worry.
That's a start.
Yo.
Hey, look here. I'm counting on Lamar to teach him. I can do that.
Yeah,
No, you guys are great examples for your family, but not only that, to your community. Do you know how many people are listening right now and said, "Wow,
Yeah.
perhaps I can do this." That
Yep.
is, and Aaron and I, we talk about this all the time. That's why it's so important, folks, for us to follow examples like you guys, to know our history,
Yep.
and knowing that people who look like us can succeed in
Yes, you
life.
can.
And,
Yes, you
okay, I want you to talk. I want you to expound on that, V. How important is that to have someone looking like you as an example that you can say, "Oh yeah, I can, I can pattern myself after I feel motivated because of these types of things." Let's talk about that a little bit because I think younger people need to know that.
uh, it's very important to see that you can do whatever you want to do. You just got to put your mind to it, have a plan, and go to it, get to it. But I think some of the younger guys are they are working us, Aaron.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah,
I used
yeah.
to take my time with it. It's Lamar just he come up with it. He pray and he move.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, but yeah, he brought up a good point, and he was talking about the business plan and all that, and we was taught that. We was taught that back in the
Yeah,
old school. Get
we
the
were.
business plan, go
Yep,
ask somebody at the bank for a loan, and blah blah
yep.
blah blah blah. Like
Oh,
this and stuff. So the younger generation, like him, teaching us like just do it.
Just
I
do it.
mean, just do it.
Yep.
If you got a business
My
plan or not.
motto is this: you can't say you believe in God and you ain't moving how you supposed to be moving. Yeah, you
Come on,
doing too many steps.
man.
Because
Amen,
look,
bro.
what they say, faith without work is nothing. So then
you
Exactly,
know
exactly,
dead as a nail.
exactly,
Dead as a nail.
exactly,
you gonna keep praying.
exactly.
I mean, how much praying you gonna do? You ain't seeing no work.
Right.
Right, right.
Yeah.
You ain't moving. You ain't moving.
People.
So
Yeah. You have people all the time. Well, when you well, I'm fixing. What you fixing to do? What? I
fixing
Yeah,
to
mean,
do what?
come on, let's do it.
you got
I
to
agree
do
with
it.
you. Lamar, I agree with you 1,000,000%, my friend. Because throughout my careers, I've had several different businesses. I mean, I had a home improvement business. I had a solar energy business. I had a
Okay.
telephone company. I had this. And then you know, and hey, and I'm not going. And they didn't work out the way I wanted to. But I can't say they were failures because each time I learned
Learn
something.
something.
I
Yeah,
learned something different. I
yeah.
said, "So, what did you do wrong? Okay, did you
Mhm.
put the effort in that you're supposed to? Okay. Now, as an agent, I found out one thing: if I made, say, maybe 10 to 15 calls a day, something happened. If I got lazy and only
Mhm.
made 2 calls today, maybe none tomorrow, five the next day, and the inconsistency doesn't pay off. But if
Nope.
I had if I said, okay, I'm going to make 10 calls a day, every day, things worked out for me because I
Mhm.
got into a pattern. And I know I'm going to sell 1 out of 10.
And
Yep.
the discipline,
Yep.
the biggest thing, the discipline. If you're doing 10 a day, that's a
Uh
discipline.
huh.
That's a discipline.
Yeah, that's a discipline. Yeah.
Right, right. And so it has a lot of impact on yourself because it does teach you
Hmm.
discipline, and it also shows you, okay, if I'm consistent in what I'm doing, because both of you know you have to be consistent in your business. With your transportation business, you say, oh, uh, we don't feel like working today.
Right,
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
I'm not going in. Well, you don't
Yeah.
make me
I'm
come in.
not,
And then somebody ain't getting their meds.
oh,
Right,
okay.
right. So
Somebody's not doing that. Or
right.
Lamar, you said, Oh man, I don't feel like being at the restaurant today. I would just or this entire week. I'll just let the staff just take
Oh,
over.
just close up. Just close up. We ain't doing that today. You know.
No, no.
Yeah.
Lamarr, I see you looking up at the ceiling here. You say shaking your head. Hey, talk. That doesn't work for you, bro. That doesn't work for you.
Ain't no PTO.
No PTO. No PTO. Hey, so let me ask this question. So while we talk about Pick and Brew, we talk about the transportation business. So the mental health business. Tell us about that, Lamarr.
It started mainly because of my nonprofit. So my nonprofit, of course, was another leg or another segment of Pig and Brew. Because we in the Blackwell, Manchester district. So, knowing the development that's going on, but seeing, the displaced families and the educational system, and knowing that, it looked good from the eye, but when you get into these school systems, Blackwell Elementary was one of the um, statistically one of the worst reading literacy schools in the area. So a
Wow.
fifth grade graduating with a second grade
I know.
reading level education, that's ridiculous. And then you go to middle school, so it's kind of like it kind of got me into policies and stuff like that, because now
Mhm.
we're talking about how the educational policies are creating mass incarceration and stuff like that. So it's like if you taking the data from the third graders and building prisons based off that, I mean, we need to educate them first, and then if they need help, I think you start in that mental health aspect at that age instead of waiting till they get to high school or they become adults. And then now it's like the functionality is different. And not saying that it might be too late, but it's harder to treat and
Mhm.
mold an individual at 18 compared to at 8 years old. I
Absolutely.
feel like if a lot of people get more help early on, the transition for them will be a lot easier going forward in life, and then you get exposure. So I mean, it's a two for one actually with my nonprofit and my mental health company. So we do intensive in home, and we just started our group home. So it's kind of like just seeing what's going on in the area. I mean, I ain't oblivious to it. So it needs a lot of attention. I think mental health for just Black people in general is something that we kind of push to the back burner,
Yes, we
and
do.
yeah, and kind of think that it's that elephant in the room that we're not going to discuss. And I think that if you really tap into that mental aspect of what's really going on and it's spoke on, we can kind of break a whole lot of these generational curses that we have.
You're exactly right. One
Yeah.
million percent,
Yeah.
young man.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart because I grew up on the South Side. I went to Blackwell Elementary. I went to Blackwell Middle School. Well, it wasn't called middle school then. What was it called then? It was
Ju-
called. It wasn't a middle school. They used to call it junior high.
Oh, junior
Oh
high.
Okay,
yeah,
you used to call it
yeah.
junior high. Okay, and I have to say, I got one of the best educations there, both on the elementary level and also on the middle school level. Even in elementary, our teachers went above and beyond teaching us. Not only they, let's say I'm in English class, I'm whatever class it is, they would teach us etiquette.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how to set a table, what is the right utensils to use. They taught us about hygiene. I mean, at their early, I mean, some things that, and they went above and beyond. So it saddens me and breaks my heart. And I
yeah,
think that a lot of it has to do with elections and the school boards that we put in place,
Yep.
because you have to understand what this, and that's why the elections. And I know I want to get off. I'm just getting off subject a little bit. I promise to bring
Oh,
it
that's
back.
okay. That's all
Okay,
right.
but if we have to make the right decisions when we go to the ballot box. Don't only pay attention to the national election, folks. Please, I'm begging you, pay attention to what's going on locally,
Yep.
because you can elect school boards year after year after year, and it will mess our children up because you aren't putting the right people in place. They have to understand what goes into the school board. They're in charge of budgeting. They're in charge of hiring and firing. They're in charge of curriculum. They're in charge of everything that affects our children. If you got the right people, wrong people in place, guess what? That's exactly what you get. You get a wrong result. Hey, Howard Harris. Hey, Emma Brown. They're tuned in. Hey, everybody. So anyway, Aaron, go on.
Let me get back to the mental health company because that's actually one of my fields
Okay.
since '07. So
Okay.
right now, I primarily in recent years in Petersburg, and the crazy part about being in Richmond and Petersburg, it's the same stuff, and that's the sad part. You're seeing the same stuff with different localities.
Every urban community in
Yeah,
across the state. That's there.
right. And then you mentioned about third grade. So them stats been out there for years with the third grade. That's when, especially with black boys, things change.
Yeah.
Things change, academically and behavior. And you hit it right on the head. It's like you got to, tackle them then.
Mm-hmm.
What I've seen in recent years, what I look at, even in the elementary schools, it's like I got to be real. It's getting bad. It's getting bad even on the elementary school age.
That's a shame.
Wow.
Years ago, in '07, 2010, 2015, the elementary school, yeah, they were a little rough, but it wasn't that bad what I see now. And it goes back, it's cliche, but goes back to the home. And I
Wow.
deal with a lot of, you're talking about intensive at home. I deal with a lot of people in the home, the parents and all of that. And when you got that bad kid at school, it comes from, most of the time, almost 100% comes from what they seen. Some
Yep.
type of trauma at home.
Right.
It could be neglect. It could be drug abuse, molestation, you name it. I've seen it. And I've seen it all. And so when that kid coming to school acting out bad, you got to look at him. Why is he doing that?
Yeah.
Why is he doing that in third grade? And what I'm seeing now, I'm talking about this past school year down in Petersburg, these kids at 10 years old are angry.
They're angry.
And why are you angry at 10 years old? At 10 years old, I was just playing
Me
outside.
too. Having
you
good
know,
time.
but
You gotta think of how the generations have changed. So
right.
I mean, I'm 29, and our number one thing was we riding bikes, going to every different neighborhood, playing basketball, stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
Man, so,
as technology grows, it has kind of hindered us in the opposite direction for our culture. For other
Right.
cultures, you see that they're advancing.
Mhm.
But I think that when you look at the dynamics of the difference between minority cultured educational system, it's not built around our learning style, for one.
Yeah. Mhm.
For two, it doesn't cultivate the mental health aspect in the school system. So yeah, if you coming from a home where you might not have eaten in the morning, you might not have had breakfast, or your mama getting high, or you taking care of your little brothers and sisters at 9 years old, but you got a homework to do. So you got to look at the aspect of how we being taught, because from what I know from Richmond Public Schools, the educational system and how the curriculum is performed is not. It hasn't changed since I've been in school. I graduated 2013, so it's no way that we should have a science book or a history book or whatever from 2013 still in 2024, when every other educational system around us, and for Richmond itself, Richmond pays more per student
Right.
than
Yeah.
any county
Yeah.
in the
Mhm.
region.
You're
But
right.
if you look at the dynamics of the teaching, well, they're not implemented for success, because, and I got this reality check going to ODU. Just being transparent, I thought that it was going to be just like I'm at TJ. I might have went to school 50, 60 days, because you know what I was doing? I was going to go to work, and I wasn't thinking about school.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna go to work first and make some money, because I know I can make up that paper, and I'm gonna still get I still graduated with 3.3, so it's
Yeah.
okay. But then when you get to college, and the kids from Henrico, the kids from Chesterfield was using laptops and stuff like that, I got my first laptop going to college. So you telling me to write a 10-page paper, we can't even like obtain what that look like, and then our standards are lower. So
Yeah.
you can graduate with a 65 in the city. You fail it
What?
with a 65 in
Right.
Henrico County. You have to have a 70. So
But
like even
yeah.
that 5%, that 5 point is a big difference, because
It
we're
is.
dropping the standard to leave no kids behind. So then,
Same,
so when,
same with Petersburg
yeah, they're doing the same things.
and the thing about it is, you notice it's in the urban communities. It's in our communities. Like I say, they drop the standards, and I've experienced myself, kids, who can't do two times two in fifth grade.
That makes no sense.
2 times 2 in fifth grade.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah, yeah.
It is absolutely incomprehensible to me to understand that. I can't believe we almost all the time. You guys are going to have to come back. We got a lot more to talk about. But I don't want to leave this mental health thing because you said something, Lamarr, earlier during the conversation, and you didn't use these words, but for years and years and years in the Black community, we looked at someone seeking mental health help as taboo. Yep. Oh no! I don't need to see a psychologist. I don't need because people gonna think I'm crazy. Yep. I mean, that's that stigma that we have placed on ourselves, and it's passed down through the generations. So people tend not to get help. And Aaron, the point that you make also, and also Lamarr, you said if that kid goes to school hungry, let's say that kid goes to school hungry. I mean, it's very difficult for me to learn if I'm hungry. Yeah, I've been in places right now, and in conferences and stuff. I said, "When is this thing over? I'm hungry." Okay, but can you imagine? As
an adult,
can you imagine? Can you imagine going to sleep hungry as a child, waking up hungry? Then you got to go to school. Yeah, I mean, your mind isn't ready for learning because all you can think about those hunger pains that you're suffering. We're putting our children, ladies and gentlemen, at an impossible position for success. And until we can go in and do something about this and break this cycle here, we're in trouble. We got 2 minutes left to go. Lamarr and V, guys, I want you to have the last word here. Tell us whatever you want to tell, and also give out your credentials, how they can find your restaurant, how they can locate you as far as your medical transportation is concerned, and also information on how they can access your mental health business.
Okay. Well, Pig and Brew is on 1313 Hall Street, and we're at Pig and Brew on Instagram. We Pig and Brew on every platform. Pigandbrew.com. Red Hibachi is at 1011 Hall Street, which is 3 blocks down, right in front of Kroger Spot. That's Red Hibachi on every platform as well. What else we say?
I'm the Brown Realtor on Instagram and Veruska Brown on Facebook. And also I hope people will join my grief support group. I'm going to have a meet and greet at Pig and Brew on November 4th. I've been getting great feedback. People have been thanking me, saying they thought they were alone. And I just want people to know you're not.
Right. We're going to come back. Lamarr, I believe I've been to Pig and Brew on Hall Street. I think I've been there. I think when I first came back to Richmond about 2.5 years ago, I think I met you. And I believe I have. You met so many people. Yeah. In your restaurant, aren't there 2 sides to it? Is that am I thinking about something else? I mean,
just one side. It's just one side.
Just one side. Okay. Well, guess what? If I haven't met you, I'm gonna stop by to meet you. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Aaron, last word.
The last word. Thank you guys for coming. And
I enjoyed y'all.
and you guys. I'm not gonna tell the listeners about B&V conversation because it was hilarious. But we'll just keep it among family.
Let me have that one.
Yeah, we'll just keep it among family. But I'm gonna just say a little bit. She didn't know she was gonna be on video.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she didn't know she was gonna be on video. So and Lamarr laughing. so she was freaking out. Yeah. So she was freaking out. Yeah, she just thought it was just gonna be on air because she actually been listening to some of our shows, but she been listening to it.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, she didn't see it. Yeah.
Okay, very good.
Yeah. So, but thank you guys for coming.
We really appreciate it, and much success to you. And continued success, and we'll meet up again real soon. Okay?
Definitely.
Yes, we
guys. Thank you so much for everything that you do, not only for your family but also what you bring to the community. So we really appreciate you guys. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Aaron. Another great show. Really appreciate it, man. Great guest, and we'll have them back on soon. Okay, let's
All
do.
right. All right.